My bro invited me out for New Year's Eve, but I ended up in his older sister's bed instead. After a night of total chaos, I sneaked out on weak legs, feeling incredibly guilty, and locked Liu Ruyan instantly, but then she cornered me right at my door. You wouldn't want my brother finding out about us, would you? Bro, I am so cooked right now. I seriously didn't mean to mess with your sister. In exchange, I agreed to be Liu Ruyan's fake boyfriend for a month. I never expected my bro to catch us red-handed. Since when did you two become a thing? Let me explain. Only for Liu Ruyan to cut in. When were we ever a thing? It all started when I got dumped. I asked my bro, Chenze, to get wasted with me on New Year's Eve. I ended up waiting in the lounge booth for 3 hours before he told me his flight was delayed. Don't worry, He Qiang. I already sent my sister to pick you up. I know you're in good hands with her. Chense and I have been in the same class since middle school. We're tighter than brothers. But college painfully dragged us apart, leaving us thousands of miles away. So when I got dumped, he bought a plane ticket to come support me without a second thought. I just didn't expect this to happen. Sure, I'd met Chenzi's sister before, but we weren't close. Honestly, she kind of terrified me, because his sister is the definition of the perfect, overachieving child. Back when Chenzi and I were bawling our eyes out over middle school math, she had already been fast-tracked into the country's top university. On the rare occasions we actually met, she was always cool and distant. Even a total troublemaker like Chenzi didn't dare misbehave around her. So when I opened my eyes and found myself in bed with Liu Ruyan, my entire world collapsed. Awake? Her cool, aloof voice drifted over. I turned my head stiffly. Even though I braced myself, my heart still skipped a beat. She was breathtakingly beautiful. Deep, captivating eyes. Perfectly defined features. This alpha woman's skin didn't have a single blemish. Her messy black hair framed her face, giving her a downright suffocating beauty. Especially when locking eyes from this close. A memory suddenly flashed through my mind. I drank way too much last night. By the time Liu Ruyan tracked me down, I only had half a brain cell working. I remembered drinking and sobbing, and throwing a drunk tantrum demanding buns. No, stop it. I looked around. This looked like Liu Ruyan's apartment. Trembling, I choked out, Ruyan, nothing happened last night, right? Liu Ruyan still looked a bit tired. Hearing this, she narrowed her eyes. Suddenly, my phone rang. Seeing it was Chenze calling, I bolted upright like I'd been electrocuted. Chenze asked, sounding confused. I texted you a bunch. Why haven't you replied? I just landed, and I'm heading to your campus right now. Which building is your dorm again? Probably your sister's building. I wouldn't dare say that out loud, even if it killed me. Feeling guiltier than ever, I lied. I overslept and didn't hear it. I'm in building 91, room 201. Chense didn't suspect a thing, and said excitedly, guess my sister actually did her job. Cool, I'm on my way. After hanging up, my brain was still a scrambled mess. Suddenly, Liu Ruyan's voice came from behind me. If you don't leave now, you're going to be late. She pulled back the blanket and got out of bed. I'll drive you. My face flushed instantly. I resigned myself to my fate and got into her car. While we were still a good distance from the campus gate, I blurted out, you can just drop me off here. Her ride was way too flashy. Liu Ruyan glanced at me but didn't say a word. As she pulled over, just as I stepped 1 foot out, she suddenly warned from behind, fix your collar. I looked down, and my face instantly turned bright red. Right below my collarbone were a few suggestive red marks. They were definitely going to raise some questions. Okay, I'm leaving now. Scrambling to get out of the car, I didn't even dare to look back. As I bolted toward the school entrance, only to run smack into Xiao Rongyu and Lu Mingfei. What are you running so fast for? In a rush to find a job. I've been so busy helping my cousin switch jobs that it's totally ruined my upload schedule. Thankfully, my friend told me that 58.com gets you hired in no time. The platform has tons of verified general labor jobs. It's totally secure and reliable. They even have AI interviews, so you can apply just by chatting. Super efficient. If they don't reply within 24 hours, the platform compensates you directly. Once you lock down the job, You can rent a place directly from landlord. It's so convenient. 58.com really handles everything. She giggled, leaning into him again. Seeing me, Xiao Rongyu's smile instantly vanished. Lu Mingwei smirked, his eyes darting back and forth between us. Then Xiao Rongyu took a step forward. He Qiang. Don't get the wrong idea. Mingfei and I never wanted to hurt you. Realizing Liu Ruyan might still be nearby, it would be so humiliating if she saw this. How embarrassing would that be? I waved my hand. Whatever. It's ancient history. Lu Mingfei scoffed. Acting like this only makes me look down on you. The hell did I even do? And who are you to look down on me? I didn't want to stand around making a scene, so I turned and walked away. But right as I turned the corner, a sharp pain shot through my cap. Grimacing, I leaned against the wall and slowly slid down. Ouch. No wonder I went crazy yesterday. Men really are just slaves to their hormones. Suddenly my phone buzzed. It was a text from Liu Ruyan. Ordered you some hangover soup. It'll be there soon. I couldn't even remember when I'd added her. Back when Chenzi was too scared to go to his parents' say, he'd always beg his sister for help. So, I ended up adding her too. But, looking at her name now, everything felt completely different. With trembling hands, I hit block. After finally catching my breath, I dragged myself up and hurried to my dorm. Right as I finished cleaning up, Chenzi called. He Qiang, I'm downstairs at your dorm. At this point, I really didn't know how to face him. But since he was already here, I had no choice but to head down. The moment he saw me, Chenzi gasped. Holy crap, why do you look so dead? What the hell did you do last night? He grumbled. It's just a breakup. Is it really that serious? It seemed he had no clue. I secretly breathed a sigh of relief. But the next second, he pulled out his phone. Hold on, let me call my sister. I need to ask how on earth she looked after you. My knees went weak. I quickly grabbed his hand. Don't, she was great. It's not her fault. Chenzi looked skeptical. For real? But did I even dare to speak? Clutching my calf, I stammered. Yeah, totally. He Qiang, why is your face so red? Chenzi pressed the back of his hand to my forehead. Are you running a fever? I shook my head frantically. Chenzi looked at me and sighed. Come on, she's just a girl. There are plenty of fish in the sea. You can find another girl anywhere. That Xiao Rongyu is a total red flag. Stop wasting your thoughts on her. With a handsome face like yours, it's entirely her loss, all right? Xiao Rongyu and I met during freshman military training. She was gorgeous and a killer tennis player. She was always a campus celebrity. After she chased me for 3 months, I thought she was sweet, so we started dating. Everything was great at first, but then I noticed she never rejected any guys hitting on her. We had a few huge fights over it, and she gradually grew cold toward me. 2 days ago, on my phone, I straight up received a photo of her, sleeping in a hotel bed. When I confronted her, she just dumped me right then and there. Damn, it's so frustrating just thinking about it. I should have been the one dumping her. Chenzi Fu, where are those 2 cheaters? I'll go teach them a lesson for you. Honestly, I didn't even care about getting even anymore. After all, it felt like I'd already. Well, never mind. I shook my head. No point wasting time on trash like them. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. It was the delivery guy. When I picked up the hangover soup, I felt incredibly awkward. Chenzi looked at the receipt and clicked his tongue. Wow, can't believe my sister actually knows how to be sweet. Right on cue, her call came in and I instantly froze up. But Chenzi had already picked up. Sis, what's up? I didn't know what she said. But the next second, he gave me a bizarre look and handed the phone over. He Qiang, my sister wants to talk to you. My vision went dark, but I forced myself to take it. Hello? I can't find my bracelet. Check if it's in your backpack. Panicking, I scrambled to rummage through my bag. And sure enough, my fingers brushed against a cold, solid bracelet. The star and moon design sparkled brilliantly, looking every bit as expensive as it actually was. Chenzi grew even more bewildered. He Qiang, why is my sister's bracelet in your bag? My mind was an absolute blur. I could only vaguely recall pinning Lu Ruyan's hand down last night, whining about how her bracelet was scratching me, staring into Chenzi's clueless eyes. I was sweating bullets. Come on, Stupid mouth, say something. Fortunately, Liu Ruyan beat me to it. I took my bracelet off yesterday and left it on the table at the bar. I forgot to grab it. He probably swept it into his bag when he was drunk without looking. Together with everything else, it got taken away. Chen Zi fell for it completely. Oh, I get it. Sis, you're way too careless. Why would you just casually take off your bracelet in a place like that? If it weren't for our He Qiang, you'd be out 7 figures. You should thank him. Silence on the other end for a moment. I quickly stammered, and no need. Just thinking about why Liu Ruyan took it off made my face burn instantly. She seemed to let out a soft chuckle. I really should thank him properly. He Qiang, when are you free? I'll swing by to pick up the bracelet after work and treat you to dinner while I'm at it. Just as I was about to turn her down, Chen Se immediately nodded. Japanese food. I know a super expensive new spot around here. Let's do tonight. Liu Ruyan readily agreed. After hanging up, I still tried to resist. But Chen Se pushed me right back down. He Qiang, are you stupid? My sister is a total corporate tycoon. Free food is free food. Don't pass it up. I was suffering in silence. Honestly, I already got more than my share last night. Word is, Liu Ruyan started a business with her classmates back in her sophomore year. Absolutely crushed it in the tech scene, and became an industry mogul in just a few short years. Chen Se was totally envious, never missing a single opportunity to leech off his sister. I had no choice but to go along with it. On New Year's Day, the commercial district was packed, buzzing with energy. Yet, sitting in the ultra-luxurious private dining room, I was sweating bullets, until a cool, low voice drifted in. Sorry, a meeting ran late, my bad. I looked up as Liu Ruyan approached. She looked completely untouchable, her blazer draped over her arm, her black dress subtly hugging her snatched waist. She radiated pure elegance and restraint. I hurriedly leaned over to Chen Zizi, who was narrowing his eyes, scanning her up and down. He leaned in close and took a sniff. Holy crap, dressing like this. Did you just come from a hookup? I gripped my teacup tightly. Chill, chillio. Liu Ruyan already changed her clothes. He won't find out. Liu Ruyan sat down across from Uz. Hearing this, she raised an eyebrow, her gaze subtly brushing past me. She slowly replied, and what if I did? Oh my god, why would she say that? Is she trying to kill me? Chen Zivolze for a second, then burst out laughing. Yeah, right. He waved his phone. Dad was just complaining to me yesterday that you're getting old and can't even get a date. He's worried you'll die alone. A hookup? Please? Keep dreaming. Her eyes flickered. I couldn't take the tension anymore. I pulled the bracelet out of my bag and handed it over with both hands. Ruyan, your bracelet. She took it back. As her cool fingertips brushed mine, it felt like an electric spark. Thanks. She casually slipped it back onto her wrist. Without giving me another glance, I let out a breath, but a sudden wave of emptiness hit my chest. For the rest of the dinner, Chen Se did most of the yahe. Liu Ruyan would occasionally reply. She always seemed so cool and detached to the world, impeccably mannered, yet carrying an untouchable distance. Maybe because I'm Chen Zi's best friend. She looked out for me quite a bit, but it stopped right there. Halfway through the meal, my stomach started acting up, probably from drinking too much. So I excused myself to the restroom. To my surprise, when I came out, I ran straight into Liu Ruyan at the corner, who had stepped out to make a call. I gave her a quick nod and tried to bypass her, but she hung up and asked, "Are you okay?" I froze as Liu Ruyan locked her eyes on me, repeating, "You've looked pale this whole time. Where does it hurt?" I shook my head. "And no, I'm fine." She paused. About last night, like a cat whose tail had been stepped on, my eyes shot wide open as I stared at her. But she suddenly changed the subject, her gaze turning somber. "It's just a breakup. Do you really love her that much?" I stammered. "Not really. Xiao Rongyu was technically my first love. I thought I'd have a nice relationship in college, but who knew I'd run into such a toxic player? I wouldn't say I'm deeply in love or can't live without her, since we were only together for a little over a month. But her hot and cold attitude, making me feel like a total idiot, was just the absolute worst, especially since she cheated on me. It's a complete humiliation. Whenever I was around Liu Ruyan, I always felt inexplicably nervous. This time was no exception. Ruyan, if there's nothing else, I'll head back inside. Liu Ruyan raised an eyebrow. What are you so guilty about? I'm not guilty. Liu Ruyan glanced toward our private room. I assume you wouldn't want my brother finding out about us, would you? That sounded a bit loaded, but I couldn't deny it. My heart instantly jumped into my throat. I seriously didn't mean to. I was just drunk and acted on impulse. Liu Ruyan was quite tall. Under the corridor's overhead light, a faint glow enveloped her, making the look in her eyes completely unreadable, shrouded in absolute mystery. But that feeling vanished in a split second. I know, she interrupted casually, sounding slightly impatient. Her tone was aloof. I just need a small favor from you. She finally looked over. Be my fake boyfriend for a month. I thought my ears were playing tricks on me. Liu Ruyan remained perfectly calm, adding flatly, you know my family has been pressuring me to marry. Honestly, hearing this, I couldn't help but feel a little sorry for Liu Ruyan. Her parents had always wanted her to settle down early and live a happy life, but things didn't go as planned. It was a total waste of her drop-dead gorgeous face and killer legs. In all these years, she had never brought a single real boyfriend home. Her mom and dad even questioned her sexual orientation at one point. But later on, Chenzi fiercely defended his sister's honor. He insisted she was secretly crushing on someone, but Dai wasn't interested, leaving her heartbroken and pining. Honestly, everyone doubted if that was even true. I mean, with Liu Ruyan's tier 1 looks, why would she ever need to hide a crush? She could pull anyone she wanted just with that face. But since there was no other logical explanation, we just rolled with it. I tried to dig for tea before, but even Chenzi was clueless. He just said she kept a guy's picture in her wallet. The ultra-cheap kind, like 50 prints for $3, you know. Your guess is as good as mine. Rumor has it her dad issued an ultimatum this year, setting up a whole line of blind dates, just waiting to force her to go through them one by one. Yeah, she really was kind of pitiful. Okay, but your parents already know me. How are we gonna pull this off? Liu Ruyan looked completely unfazed. We won't show your face. Just a few photos from behind will do. I was still a little worried. What if Chenzi sees them? He'll recognize me instantly. I'll just Photoshop it. Aren't you guys supposed to be good at that? Damn, who is she calling out? She tilted her head slightly, seemingly studying my face. After a pause, she murmured, they haven't seen you in a long time. You've had a massive glow-up. They won't recognize you. My heart skipped a beat. Before I knew it, I nodded in agreement. Okay then. Liu Ruyan seemed quite pleased with my answer. Her thin lips curved into a subtle smile. Cool and effortless. Then first, unblock me. Chenzi stayed with me for a day and then left. No choice. Finals were coming up. I went all out, grinding for my exams every single day, burying myself in the library around the clock. Once, I ran right into Xiao Rongyu and Lu Mingfei. Those two were practically treating the library like a hotel room. Aside from wanting to throw a mattress at them, right then and there, I felt absolutely nothing. Although Liu Ruyan asked me to help her out by being her fake boyfriend for a month, we barely kept in touch after that day. After finishing my last exam, I let out a long sigh of relief and packed up to go home. I never expected to get a text from Liu Ruyan. I'm outside your school gate. Didn't you finish your last exam today? I'll drive you to the high-speed rail station. It finally clicked. She must have seen the ticket photo I just posted on my feed. I wanted to cry. I mean, is she really that free? How did she even remember a tiny detail like that? I wanted to say no, but her next sentence completely shut me down. Since you're my boyfriend, it'll look weird if we don't have a single picture together. Fair point. Half an hour later, I dragging my suitcase. I found myself inside Liu Ruyan's car once again. The vibe was incredibly tense and awkward. Naturally, Liu Ruyan was the first to break the ice. How did your finals go? I quickly answered, pretty good, I guess. Might even lock down a scholarship. Liu Ruyan caught my eyes through the rearview mirror. Are you strapped for cash? I shook my head. Nah, but some extra pocket money never hurts. Liu Ruyan nodded and dropped the subject. When we arrived at the station, I quietly let out a sigh of relief. Just as I was about to unbuckle and get out, suddenly, Liu Ruyan. Let's take a photo. I got it. Proof for the parents, right? Sure. Give me a second. I intertwined my fingers with hers. Liu Ruyan completely froze. I felt a bit puzzled and slightly anxious. Aren't you gonna snap it? Is this too much? We can do a different pose. I saw relationship launch pics inside cars do it exactly like this. No need, Liu Ruyan said, tightening her grip on my hand. At the same time, she took out her phone and snapped a pic. She stared at the photo for a few seconds before saying, "Looks good." After she let go, I secretly curled my fingers. Her hand was fair, soft, and really warm. Her palm was even a little sweaty. It was just holding hands. Why was she so nervous? I pushed down the surging feeling in my chest and said goodbye. I'm heading in. Liu Ruyan nodded. Safe travels. Text me when you get there. It was already night by the time I got home. Right as I reached my building, I heard intense shouting. I hesitated for a second, but still went upstairs. Just as I was about to knock, the door was yanked open from the inside. A glass cup came flying out. Get the hell out. I dodged on reflex. But it still grazed my forehead. My dad walked out right after. He shot me an ugly look, then, without stopping for a second, coldly walked right past me. I looked inside the apartment. My mom's face was flush red. Her eyes, full of resentment. The place was completely trashed. I stepped around the shattered glass and went over to help her up. Mom. It was like a string that had been pulled tight for too long. Suddenly, snap. Tears started pouring down her face. She burst into sobs. I was completely blind to marry a man like him. I handed her a pack of tissues and cleaned up the living room, putting everything back in its place. By the time I finished all that, my mom had finally calmed down enough to cry about the whole reason behind their fight. Just like every other time over the years. Two completely different people forced together. It was just pure torture for both of them. Once she cried herself out, she fell asleep. I finally got a moment to breathe. I pulled out my phone and saw several missed calls from Liu Ruyan. Just as I was debating whether to text back, she called again. I stepped out onto the balcony and picked up, lowering my voice. Hello? Liu Ruyan seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, but there was a hint of blame in her voice. Didn't I tell you to text me when you got home? Why weren't you picking up? I explained quietly. Sorry. I was busy just now. Missed your calls. Liu Ruyan paused. Are you crying? I sniffled. Probably just caught some wind on the way back. Might be catching a cold. Liu Ruyan didn't press the issue. As long as your home's safe. It sounded super loud and crowded on her end. She seemed to be at some business dinner. President Ruyan, still on the phone with the boyfriend. A man's voice came through the line, teasing her. Liu Ruyan hummed in agreement. He's too clingy, what can I do? The guy's voice suddenly had a hint of bitterness and awkwardness. Oh, all right. I won't bother you then. It sounded like the guy walked away. The background noise faded a bit. I got it. Using me as a shield. How long have you been at this party? Liu Ruyan casually replied. Just didn't want to drink anymore. Came out for some fresh air. Since I agreed to be her fake boyfriend, acting as her shield seemed perfectly fair. Worried someone might still be eavesdropping on her end, I cleared my throat and said, well, don't drink too much, okay? She paused, then let out a laugh. Don't worry. I can hold my liquor way better than you. I couldn't help but angrily hang up the phone. Just drink then. So annoying. But that phone call somehow scattered my depressing mood. I let out a long sigh and went to take a shower. I was blow-drying my hair when I got a WeChat message from Chen Zi. Chiang, how are things at home? Same old. Ever since I can remember, my parents have been fighting. Sometimes it even got physical. Later, after I met Chen Zi, and he found out, he would constantly invite me to his place. Whatever, you're in college now. You need to live your own life. No need to carry their baggage. Chen Zi is typing, showed for a while before he changed the subject. By the way, I just found out some absolutely massive news. My sister got a boyfriend. Holy shit, a total ice queen like her. Does she even know how to date? Actually, I didn't get it either. If she just needed someone to play along, she could have picked anyone. Why did it have to be me? My acting sucks, and I already know her whole family. With your sister's looks, dating should be a breeze, right? Chen Zi dismissed the ideas. I don't buy it for a second. When she gets back for New Year's, I'm gonna interrogate her and see what's really going on. Afraid I'd blow my cover if we kept talking. I asked him about his finals Instead, right on cue, Chenza let out a wail. God is trying to kill me. It's not like the old days, where I could just have my sister carry me. Cramming a whole semester in one day. Life is so hard. After that night, the next time my dad came back was on New Year's Eve morning. He wanted to divorce my mom. I said perfectly calmly, "Don't worry about me. I'm an adult now. I can take care of myself. I won't be a burden to either of you." After that, I booked a flight straight back to campus. It was almost New Year's, so the airport was fully decked out in festive decorations. It was packed with people and buzzing with energy. Sitting in the terminal, I scrolled through WeChat moments out of sheer boredom. When I swiped down to Chenze's post, I froze. In a bright, spacious kitchen, Mother and Father Lu were making dumplings. Chenze was sneaking a piece of crispy fried po, his pockets stuffed with thick red envelopes. The caption read, "The god of gamblers never misses." I dropped a like. Chenze immediately sent me a red envelope. He kiang. Accept it. I earned this money with pure skill. I bet my parents, my sister's boyfriend was totally fake. They told her to bring him home, but she kept making up excuses. She even claimed she had to work overtime and couldn't come home for the holidays. I knew she was bluffing. Where the hell is she gonna magically produce a boyfriend from? With that, he sent over a photo. It was the exact photo of me and Lu Ruyan holding hands. Look at this. It's so fake. Obviously Photoshop. I guiltily shrank my neck. Technically we were faking a tea, but I really didn't do much. Clearly, that photo wasn't convincing anyone. I texted Lu Ruyan. "Guess I didn't help you fool your parents after all." Liu Ruyan must have been busy with something, but after a while, she actually called me. I answered on reflex. "Hey, Ruyan. How did you know?" Otherwise, she paused. "Why is it so loud on your end? Where are you right now?" Just as I was scrambling for an excuse, the sweet, gentle voice over the airport intercom chimed intercom. "Attention Air China passengers. We are now beginning the boarding process. Please." Oh, crap. Too late. Liu Ruyan obviously connected the dots. "You're at the airport. What are you doing there at a time like this?" Feeling a bit helpless, I sighed. "Nothing. Just catching a flight back to school. It'll only take an hour and a half." Liu Ruyan's tone turned surprisingly stern. "Stop acting like a kid throwing a tantrum. Go home first." The boarding line was already stretching long. I stood up. Right in front of me was a family of 3. A little boy, maybe 4 or 5 years old, was holding his parents' hands, chattering away. It was such a happy, picture-perfect scene. "Ruyan," I suddenly felt completely drained of energy. I mumbled softly, "I don't have a home anymore." I hung up the phone and boarded the plane. I wanted to catch up on some sleep, but I couldn't drift off. Staring out at the pitch-black night sky, I spaced out. Actually, the reason Xiao Rongyu broke up with me was because she accidentally overheard a phone call between me and my dad. My dad was complaining that my mom hadn't been home in ages, and told me to ask her for my living expenses instead. Ever since then, Xiao Rongyu drew a strict line with me. It wasn't long before she hooked up with Lu Yunfei. She thought she had me completely wrapped around her finger. She figured no matter how she treated me, I'd never have the guts to dump her. But she was dead wrong. I'm not like my dad. I won't ever tolerate a cheater. By the time I landed, it was 11 p.m. and the subways were closed. I had no choice but to grab a cab. I pulled out my phone, only to find over a dozen missed calls and WeChat messages. From Liu Ruyan. The most recent one was sent half an hour ago. "I'm in the B2 parking lot at the airport. Come, find me when you land." I froze. "Liu Ruyan is here." "He kiang," a familiar voice called out from ahead. My heart did a massive flip. I slowly walked toward the crowded arrivals exit. She was wearing a black dress, looking insanely eye-catching. The second she saw me, it was like she let out a long, heavy breath. The coldness in her eyes completely melted away. My brain hadn't even processed what was happening before she walked right up to me. "Why are you?" She grabbed my suitcase and grabbed my hand at the exact same time. I was worried you'd get lost. Her warm palm carried this deeply reassuring power. For some reason, I didn't pull away. Not until I followed her all the way to the parking lot. An elegantly dressed woman in an office lady outfit stepped out of her car. She looked about 26 or 27. Long wavy hair, flawless makeup. She looked at Liu Ruyan, first, then shifted her gaze to me. Pouting her lips, she let out a flirty laugh. President Ruyan. So, this is your little boy toy. Is he even legal? I can't believe you went there. It was obvious that she and Liu Ruyan were super close. Meanwhile, I was standing there in bulky puffer jacket, dragging a suitcase along. I definitely looked like a complete mess. I suddenly felt this overwhelming, awkward embarrassment. Thanks for the trouble, Liu Ruyan said. Heading back to Yufu? I froze. Yufu? Isn't that Liu Ruyan's place? That's exactly where I ended up last time I got drunk. The woman clearly knew what was up. Her eyes scanned me up and down with a totally suggestive look. She quickly put her pretty smile back on. Who dare disobey President Ruyan? Liu Ruyan murmured a thanks. With an extra person in the car, I was too embarrassed to ask why she wasn't taking me back to campus. I just played dumb and kept my mouth shut. The other woman, however, started chatting with Liu Ruyan about company business. After listening for a bit, I figured it out. She was Liu Ruyan's business partner, Kyokiao. They originally had a business dinner today, but Liu Ruyan suddenly left early. Since she'd been drinking, Kyokiao volunteered to drive her. A moment later, Kyokiao glanced in the rearview mirror. Oh, my bad. I've just been talking projects with President Ruyan. Are you super bored? She was basically implying I was a kid who couldn't understand a thing. Not at all, I shook my head. I love hearing whatever Ruyan talks about. Kyokiao's face stiffened. Liu Ruyan looked a bit surprised, turning her head to glance at me. I flashed her a sweet smile. I already failed with her parents earlier, so today I absolutely had to successfully flex our PDA. I needed Liu Ruyan to feel she was getting her money's worth. For the rest of the drive, Kyokiao totally lost interest and stopped chatting. It wasn't until she saw Liu Ruyan and me getting out of the car together that she frowned slightly. President Ruyan, aren't you going back? Mr. Zhang and the others are still. It's too late. I don't feel comfortable leaving him home alone. Liu Ruyan cut her off. I've already told them. I'll visit them personally another day. The partnership won't be delayed. Kyokiao pressed her red lips together, looking like she wanted to say something. Liu Ruyan naturally took my hand. You should head back early too. Don't miss out on New Year's. Sitting in the spacious living room, I was still a bit dazed. Liu Ruyan poured a glass of water. It's been a long day, get some rest. I'm not tired. Holding the cup, I felt anxious. Ruyan, did I ruin something important for you today? She didn't even go home for New Year's. She was probably busy grinding on this project, only for my arrival to mess everything up. Liu Ruyan took off her blazer, casually hanging it aside. A faint scent of alcohol drifted over. She nonchalantly unbuttoned her collar. Not at all. She always seemed so calm and composed, like everything was perfectly under control. Ruyan, did you ask me to be your fake boyfriend? Because of her. Liu Ruyan narrowed her eyes. I looked down at myself, and my legs felt a bit weak. I'm cooked. There's no way someone like her would ever take me seriously. Liu Ruyan suddenly chuckled. Is that what you think? I sighed. I'm pretty useless, aren't I? Otherwise, why wouldn't even my parents want me? Liu Ruyan froze, her smile gradually fading. After what felt like an eternity, she finally spoke. No, you're great. My heart skipped a beat. I subconsciously leaned in closer, only to find Liu Ruyan staring at me intently. I panicked slightly and looked away. The room was way too quiet. A strange, intimate tension seemed to be building up. I felt even more restless. I couldn't help it. Everything here kept triggering the memories I tried so hard to forget. Thankfully, Liu Ruyan didn't let me suffer in awkwardness for too long. She turned and walked into the kitchen. I don't cook often. I only have dumplings. You'll have to make do. Is she actually cooking for me? I jumped up and rushed over immediately. You've already done so much today. Let me do it. Right then Liu Ruyan's phone rang. She looked at me. It's a video call from Chen Zi. I quickly pushed her out of the kitchen, signaling her to absolutely not mention I was here. Liu Ruyan went to the living room to take the call. I could hear her tone was as chill as always. What's up? Chen Zi's voice came through intermittently. They seemed to be talking about family stuff. I stared at the boiling water in the pot. My feelings completely mixed. Why did it feel like I was actually Liu Ruyan's secret lover? Liu Ruyan's video call didn't last long. I scooped the dumplings out. Suddenly a massive boom came from outside the window, scaring the crap out of me. I walked over to look. The sky outside was lit up with gorgeous fireworks. Almost forgot today was New Year's Eve. Boom! As the New Year's bell rang, the entire sky exploded with breathtaking fireworks. It was absolutely spectacular. Kiang, Liu Ruyan suddenly called out. I turned around. She was leaning against the kitchen island, her long legs looking like they went on forever. A faint smile played on her lips. Happy New Year. I never expected that Liu Ruyan would be the one spending this New Year's Eve with me. The TV was buzzing with laughter. The fireworks outside were dazzling, and the dumplings on the table were still steaming. For a split second, I felt entirely dazed. It felt like I finally had a home again. When I woke up, early the next morning, Liu Ruyan was already gone. She left a sticky note. I went on a business trip. Should take about a week. Make yourself at home. Also, I ordered food for you. Remember to eat. She really was super busy. I sent her a thanks on WeChat. She didn't reply. She was probably on the plane. From what Kyokia was saying last night, her suddenly bailing on the dinner probably caused a ton of trouble she had to fix. Staying all alone in Liu Ruyan's massive villa felt super weird. After thinking it over, I cleaned up the place and dragged my suitcase back to the dorms. I didn't expect to get huge tea from Chenze. The second I got back to my room, holy shit, I think my sister actually has a man. My heart did a massive flip. What makes you say that? Chenze was totally hyped. She didn't come home yesterday. I specifically video called her to demand my red envelope money. And guess what? There were 2 water cups on her living room coffee table. And I swear I saw in the corner of the video, over by the kitchen, the shadow of a guy on the floor. With that, he sent over a screenshot of the video call. Liu Ruyan probably didn't notice, but half of my shoe made it into the frame. My heart literally stopped for a second. That doesn't really prove anything, does it? Maybe it's just a friend. She's a clean freak. Who is this mystical beast of a man that managed to tame my sister? Chenze, whoa, us absolutely losing his mind. I seriously want to go over there right now and investigate. I blurted out on reflex. She went on a business trip. You won't see anyone even if you go. The second the words left my mouth, I knew I messed up. And sure enough, Chenze immediately caught the slip up. How do you know she's on a business trip? I stammered. I just accidentally overheard it earlier. She mentioned it to you, you just forgot. Really? Why don't I remember? Chenze started questioning his own memory, but he quickly brushed it off. Whatever. When she gets back, I'm definitely interrogating her. After hanging up I laid in bed, staring blankly at Liu Ruyan's profile picture. Her WeChat moments were completely empty, just like her, cool, aloof, and completely unreadable. Suddenly, she sent me a WeChat message. Just landed. I felt a wave of relief and sent back an OK sticker. Liu Ruyan. I took a weird look at it, and my heart nearly jumped out of my chest. That OK sticker, that autocorrect sent automatically, actually had text on it. Okay, baby. Holy shit. My face instantly turned beet red. I frantically long pressed to unsend it, screaming in absolute despair on the inside. Liu Ruyan is typing, showed for a long time. But, in the end, she just sent one short word. I stared at the message, scratching my head. I couldn't help but feel like it was a bit flirty. But then again, maybe I was just overthinking it. Liu Ruyan wouldn't misunderstand, right? She probably just thought it was a dumb sticker kids sent. I tossed and turned in bed, but I was too embarrassed to ask. I could only pretend like nothing ever happened. A week later, Liu Ruyan returned to Yufu and realized I wasn't there. I just told her the truth, that I went back to campus. Liu Ruyan didn't say much about it, but after that, our contact didn't just stop. In fact, we texted way more than before. Sometimes, she'd tell me she was going into a meeting or a dinner party. When I stayed up late, she'd even remind me to go to bed early. I found a part-time job at the city plaza. It helped me kill time after work every day and earn some extra living expenses. This kept going right until the first day of the new semester, when I heard some huge gossip. Xiao Rongyu and Lu Mingfei broke up. Lu Mingfei straight up cornered Xiao Rongyu below her dorm, crying and calling her a toxic player. They made a massive, embarrassing scene. When Chenze found out, he was hyped. Got any pics? Let me see the drama. I threw my hands up. Why would I keep trash like that on my phone? Dating a girl like her is basically a criminal record for me. Chenzi curled his lip. Fair enough. It's just been so boring lately. Sigh. I've been interrogating my sister for days, and I still can't figure out who that guy is. She's hiding him way too well. It's like she's specifically guarding against me. I suddenly remembered that my 1-month agreement with Liu Ruyan was already up, but Liu Ruyan had been swamped since New Year's, so she never brought it up, and I definitely didn't have the guts to mention it myself. How was I even supposed to start that conversation? Luckily, Chenzi didn't dwell on it. He excitedly asked, "Oh right, Qiang, your birthday is coming up. What do you want for your birthday this time? I'll come over and celebrate with you." Yeah. At first, I was happy. But then, I hesitated. Isn't that way too much trouble? You just flew thousands of miles to see me on New Year's. It hasn't even been that long. I'd feel super bad making you travel all this way again. Chenzi sounded a bit disappointed. But we didn't even see each other during the holidays. Our two families live on completely opposite sides of the city. He originally wanted to visit me during winter break. I politely turned him down, using my parents' recent fights as an excuse. He understood, and didn't try to invite me out again after that. Just as I was feeling torn, he made the final call. It's fine. I can just use this chance to secretly investigate my sister's situation. My parents are paying for my flight. They told me, as long as I can get a clear photo of her boyfriend's face, there'll be a massive reward waiting for me. I had mixed feelings about that. I totally wanted to sell a selfie to him for some cash, but I couldn't just scam him, right? Pushing those ridiculous thoughts aside, I counted my little savings stash. I figured I could use my part-time job money to buy Yadia's a gift. I found some time to go to the mall, thinking I'd also pick something out for Liu Ruyan to thank her for taking me in on New Year's Eve. But I never expected to bump into her here. She was standing at a counter. "Miss, are you picking out a gift for your boyfriend?" Liu Ruyan pointed at a watch. "Let me take a look at that one." She didn't deny it. She actually didn't deny it. My heart suddenly sank, like a bucket of ice water had been poured over me, leaving me freezing cold. Suddenly, as if sensing something, Liu Ruyan turned to look back. I panicked, quickly turned around and hid. It was so weird. I hadn't even done anything wrong. So why was I feeling so guilty? I scrambled to find an exit, but ended up bumping into someone at the corner. "Sorry, so sorry." Just as I was apologizing, someone grabbed my arm. Qiang. I looked closer, and realized the person I bumped into was Xiao Rongyu. Talk about bad luck. I didn't want to waste my breath on them, so I turned to walk away. But Xiao Rongyu seemed amused. "I saw you looking at stuff just now. You definitely can't afford the brands here, right?" I frowned. "None of your business." Xiao Rongyu stepped closer, smiling. "Haven't seen you in a while. You're looking even more handsome. Running into you is fate. Just tell me if there's anything you want. As long as you're willing to come back to me, I'll buy it for you." Is this girl literally insane? I kept a straight face. I have zero interest in getting back with a toxic ex. I'm sorry about what happened before, but I was just confused for a bit. Who knew Lu Mingfei would be such a drama queen? Xiao Rongju was clearly still hung up on me. She reached out to touch my waist. "He's nothing compared to you. You're much more obedient." Smack. I slapped her hand away immediately. "Xiao Rongyu, show some respect. We are completely done. If you keep this up, don't blame me for getting nasty." Back when we first started dating, she was always too touchy-feely. After I lost my temper a few times, she ran out of patience and turned around to hook up with Lu Mingfei. Xiao Rongyu's face changed as she touched her cheek, laughing out of pure anger. "Playing the innocent card, huh? It's fine when you do it with others, but not with me." A surge of anger blocked my chest. "What kind of garbage are you spouting?" Hit a nerve, did I? Getting defensive, people around us started looking over, pointing and whispering. Xiao Rongyu seemed to want to make an even bigger scene. She sneered. "I saw you with my own eyes. Getting out of a Maybach, with your family's background. There's no way you could ever afford a car like that. You can do those kinds of things, but people aren't allowed to talk about it." I took a deep breath. "Xiao Rongyu, I'm warning you, spreading rumors is illegal. I don't have time to argue with you today. If there's a next time, we'll settle this at the police station." With that, I turned to leave, but Xiao Rongyu grabbed my wrist. "What? You're willing to be a sugar baby for an old woman but won't be with me?" The crowd looked at us with eyes full of gossip. I could hear people whispering, "Oh my God, what's wrong with young guys these days? How can he do something so shameless? Just relying on his youth, forgetting who he really is. People like him will get their karma sooner or later. You really can't tell. He looks like such a good boy, but he's so messy in private." I couldn't defend myself. In this situation, proving my innocence was harder than reaching the sky. Xiao Rongyu smiled smugly. "I don't mind your past. Are you still not satisfied? If word gets around campus, how are you gonna survive there?" She gripped my arm tighter. "I think you better just come with me." Suddenly, an icy voice cut through. "Let him go." My heart leaped. I looked toward where the voice came from. I had no idea when Liu Ruyan got there, but her expression was chilling, her eyes looking like they were covered in frost. I had never seen her look like this before. Xiao Rongju looked at her, seemingly intimidated by her aura. "Who are you?" "I'm arguing with my boyfriend. What's it to you?" Liu Ruyan's thin lips curled into a freezing smirk. "You said he's your boyfriend." Liu Ruyan suddenly strode forward. Xiao Rongyu seemed scared, instinctively letting go and taking a step back. "What do you want?" "Let me tell you." But Liu Ruyan didn't even give her a single glance. She walked straight past her and stopped right in front of me. Her gaze lingered on me for a moment, before asking, "Did she hurt you anywhere?" Beneath her calm tone was an unhidden, overwhelming coldness. Liu Ruyan just stared at me, waiting for my answer. I gently shook my head. "No." Liu Ruyan didn't move, clearly not believing me. I didn't want to drag her into this mess. I looked up at her, almost pleading. "I want to go back to campus." Liu Ruyan finally relented. "I'll drive you." "How long has she been harassing you like this?" "In the car ride back." Liu Ruyan was the first to speak. I sighed. "She hasn't before. We just happened to bump into each other today. I don't know what crazy pill she took." Seeing that her face still held a lingering chill, I added, "Don't worry. I didn't let her walk all over me." Thinking about how I failed to buy a gift today, I felt a bit defeated. Also, can we keep this a secret from Chen Ze? With his explosive temper, he'll definitely go hunt them down if he finds out. Less drama is better. Liu Ruyan suddenly slammed on the brakes, pulling over to the side of the road. I was confused. "Ruyan." Liu Ruyan stayed quiet for a long time, before finally asking, "He Qiang, are you always this easy to bully?" I opened my mouth, but didn't know what to say. Looking at her sharp, cold side profile, deep down in my heart, an indescribable ache suddenly surged up. My chest felt blocked by something heavy and damp. I took a deep breath, suppressing that inexplicable sense of grievance. Feigning a light tone, I asked, "Ruyan, is it really okay for you to just ditch Qiao like that?" Liu Ruyan frowned. "What?" I immediately shut up and looked out the window. But Liu Ruyan seemed to suddenly realize something. She narrowed her eyes. "You saw everything back there." I was so nervous, my palms were sweating. It was such an easy question to answer, yet for some reason, I couldn't utter a single word. Liu Ruyan stayed quiet for a long time, before suddenly letting out a soft chuckle. "He Qiang." She sounded like she was joking, yet also incredibly certain. "Are you jealous?" I braced myself and turned to meet her gaze, racking my brain in rambling nonsense. I just think, since we agreed I'd be your fake boyfriend, if you found someone you actually like, you should probably let me know, so people don't get the wrong idea." Liu Ruyan rested one hand on the steering wheel, her long fingers tapping lightly against it. Listening calmly, she said, Anything else?" I couldn't come up with a single excuse, embarrassedly looking away. I felt like all my little secret feelings were completely exposed under her stare. Nowhere left to hide. "No, that's it." I held my breath. "Maybe I'm just overthinking it. You don't need to explain anything to me anyway. First of all, she and I are just regular colleagues and business partners." Liu Ruyan interrupted me. "Second, that bracelet wasn't for her either." I was stunned. Liu Ruyan paused. "Lastly, I do have someone I like." My heart sank heavily. Suddenly my phone rang. It was Chenzi calling. In that moment, I actually felt a wave of relief. "It's Chenzi. I'll just get out here. It's not far from campus anyway. I can just walk back." Without waiting for Liu Ruyan to reply, I hurriedly pushed the door open and got out. Answering the call at the same time, Hey, Chen sounded absolutely furious. He, Qiang, is that toxic bitch mentally ill? How dare she treat you like that? What? You don't know yet. Someone took a video at the mall. I recognized it immediately. It's that little demon Xiao Rongyu harassing you. I frowned. Send it to me. Chanzi Zents, de la, Audios. I clicked on it. It seemed to be filmed from the second floor. The clip of me arguing with Xiao Rongyu already had over 1,000 likes. The hashtag was #Malakalagesstudent. Chenze was raging. I'm already tearing them apart in the comments. This person is just doing it for clout. I exited the video. It's fine. I have nothing to hide. Don't pay attention to this kind of slander. How is that fine? Rumors spread like wildfire. Chense was super anxious. What if people actually believe it? He racked his brain. That Maybach Xiao Rongyu mentioned. If I'm guessing right, that's my sister's car, isn't it? I couldn't deny that. I could only nod. Yeah, perfect. Chenze's mood instantly brightened. I'll just get my sister to clear things up for you. Before I could even react, he hung up. I felt a bit uneasy. Isn't that too much trouble? Maybe we should just drop it. 10 minutes later, Chenze texted back. Donu. What? You got it done. My sister already agreed to help. Liu Ruyan is helping. But she already helped. We were getting close to the campus gate. I gradually noticed people around me staring. Did that video really spread that fast? Feeling uneasy, I was just about to speed walk back, when suddenly, a car honked behind me. I looked back. A familiar black Maybach was trailing me at a steady distance. Who knows how long it had been following me? The window rolled down, and Liu Ruyan called out to me, "Yi Jiang." My ears practically melted. She parked and stepped out of the car. Low gasps of amazement rippled through the crowd. Holy crap, she's gorgeous. Who is she? Obviously not from our school. Idiot. She literally screams, "Successful CEO." I thought the car was stunning. But the driver is even more stunning. NGLO. Not a single girl at our school even compares. She's been following that guy for a while now. What's the tea? Couples fight. She's probably coaxing her boyfriend. Watching her walk towards me, step by step. My eyes widened. Wait. This feels a bit off. Ruyan, I stammered, totally clueless. Why haven't you left yet? Liu Ruyan tilted her chin up. I'm walking you back to your dorm. Then wouldn't the whole world see us? Just picturing that scene. I firmly refused. No, it's fine. I know the way back to my dorm. I can just walk myself. Suddenly, a tiny cold drop hit my forehead. I froze. It was snowing. Liu Ruyan suddenly reached out and pulled my hood over my head. The oversized hood instantly blocked most of my vision. Ruyan. Her gaze dropped to my lips for a split second, before quickly darting away. Aren't they spreading rumors about you? If I chase after you, the rumors will debunk themselves. My heart skipped a massive beat. Does she even know what she's saying? Those people were spreading rumors that I was a sugar baby for an old lady in a luxury car. With her showing up like this, no one's going to call her an old lady anymore, since she's a drop-dead gorgeous woman. But then wouldn't it just turn into me hooking up with a gorgeous rich woman instead? I feel like we're missing the point here. Whatever. Sure enough, the second I got back to my dorm, I was ambushed by my roommates. He Qiang, who was that just now? She's stunning. Is she pursuing you? Spill the tea. When did you two hook up? I scratched my head. That's just my friend's older sister. My friend asked her to look out for me. That's all. There's nothing else going on. No one bought it. Yeah, right. The way she looks at you is definitely not innocent. My heart skipped a beat, but I didn't dare overthink it. If it weren't for Chenzi, she and I probably would never have crossed paths in a million years. Besides, didn't she literally just say that she already has someone she liked? Seeing my mood drop, they finally stopped grilling me. I thought that would be the end of it. But to my surprise, starting the very next day, a bouquet of flowers was delivered to our dorm every single morning. Signed, Liu Ruyan. I was getting a bit annoyed. She obviously doesn't even like me. So why go through all this trouble? The weekend was my birthday. Chenzi was arriving soon. I finally worked up the courage and sent Liu Ruyan a WeChat message. Ruyan, please stop sending flowers. My classmates already know the rumors were fake. And if you keep sending them, they're going to start saying a rich, beautiful CEO is obsessed with me and won't leave me alone. Liu Ruyan just replied with one sentence. Got it. When Sunday came, she finally stopped sending the flowers. I breathed a sigh of relief. But an inexplicable sense of disappointment crept in it. Whatever. She's already gone above and beyond. What right do I have to be disappointed? Pushing those thoughts aside, I changed my clothes, picked up Chen Zi, and went to the restaurant I booked. I even ordered a bottle of red wine. I raised my glass to him. Chen Zi, thanks for coming to celebrate my birthday with me. In this entire world, he's probably the only one who still remembers today is my birthday. But Chen Zi snatched my wine glass away. He asked hesitantly, He Chen, you don't look very happy. What's going on? I saw that video from before got taken down. It shouldn't be bothering you anymore, right? The alcohol was going to my head. Feeling a bit dizzy, I muttered softly. I think I'm heartbroken. Wait, no, I was never even in a relationship to begin with. In that moment, I finally dared to face my true feelings. Truth is, I've had a crush on Liu Ruyan for a long time, but she doesn't like me back. Chen Sei was completely stunned. What? Don't tell me. With a handsome face like yours, you're secretly pining for someone. Which girl is blind enough to reject you? I couldn't speak. I just stared at him. Chenza quickly backpedaled. All right. Let's drop it. After today, it's all just water under the bridge. Honestly, not just you. I'm super frustrated too. He poured himself a glass of wine. Sighing heavily, I've been investigating for so long, and I still have absolutely zero clue what my sister's boyfriend looks like. She hasn't mentioned him in a while either. Maybe she got dumped too, he scoffed. I was originally planning to ambush her at her place today, but she claimed she wasn't home and told me to wait. Like hell I'd wait. I just ditched her. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a figure approaching. I sat up straight. Chen Zi, are you saying your sister knows you're here? Chen Zi was completely oblivious. Yeah, I told her I was coming to celebrate your birthday. Let her be lonely by herself. He looked confused. What's wrong? Why are you making that face? I stood up, stuttering. Ruyan? Chen Zi's eyes went wide. The atmosphere completely froze. My meeting ran late. Hope you don't mind. Liu Ruyan placed a box on the table and added, Happy birthday. I awkwardly stammered. Thanks, Ruyan. Liu Ruyan smoothly sat down next to Chen Zi, draping her blazer to the side, before finally looking at him. Not going to say hello. Chen Zi looked like he was about to cry. All the smack he just talked had clearly been heard loud and clear. Always knowing when to fold, he instantly flipped his expression, slapping on an overly eager, flattering smile. I never expected my dearest sister to grace us with her presence. Despite her busy schedule, it's He Qiang's birthday. Why are you thanking me? Chen Si finally shrank back, obediently, though he didn't forget to secretly curl his lip after putting him in his place. Liu Ruyan turned to look at me, while I was frantically replaying the last 5 minutes in my head, wondering if I had said anything I shouldn't have. Liu Ruyan tilted her chin toward the box. This is your birthday present. Open it, see if you like it. My feelings were a tangled mess. I didn't want to have any more ties with her, but seeing her show up, I still couldn't help but feel secretly happy. I'm so pathetic. Liu Ruyan was watching me, so I had no choice but to take the box and open it. Thanks, Ruyan. Honestly, I'm just grateful you came. You really didn't have to get me anything. My voice completely cut off. A watch was lying quietly inside the velvet box. Chen Zi was sitting across from me and couldn't see it. Curious, he asked. He, Qiang, what did my sister get you? I slowly looked closer. Liu Ruyan leaned back in her chair. The moment our eyes met, her thin lips curved up slightly. Like it? I specially asked a friend for advice when picking it out for you. My breathing instantly stopped. So that's what happened. That day, Liu Ruyan went to the mall. She was specifically picking out a birthday gift for me. And when the sales guy asked if it was for her boyfriend, she didn't deny it. Chenza leaned over. What is it? Why so secretive? He Qiang, if you don't like it, just say so. I'll make my sister go exchange it. I instinctively snapped the box shut. and lowered my eyes. I love it. Thank you, Ruyan. For the rest of the meal, I was completely on edge. Not only was the watch crazy expensive, but what did it mean that Lu Ruyan personally went to pick it out? I used the restroom as an excuse, and secretly sent Lu Ruyan a WeChat message. Ruan, that watch is way too expensive. I can't accept it. Half a minute later, Liu Ruyan replied, didn't you say you loved it? If you didn't want to accept it, why didn't you say so earlier? How was I supposed to say that right in front of Chen Ziya? If I tried to explain myself even one extra sentence, he definitely would have sniffed out that something was off. I brainstormed a few more excuses, but Liu Ruyan stopped replying. Since I couldn't stay away from the table for too long, I had no choice but to head back out. I didn't expect Lu Ruyan to be standing right outside. It startled me. Ruyan, with one hand in her pocket and her back straight. She looked at me with deep, intense eyes. He xiang. Can you really not tell? My brain short-circuited. Tell what? She seemed to let out a soft sigh. Word by word, she said, all this time, the person I've liked is you. Did you really not know? The restaurant was bustling with people, and the lights were dazzling. But in that exact moment, everything faded into a silent movie. She was the only thing in color. Every single word she said was permanently branded into my mind. There was nowhere to hide. My hands fumbled awkwardly, brushing against the square box in my pocket. Inside was the watch she had just gifted me. My heart started pounding uncontrollably. My face must be so red right now, like it's literally burning up. But there. Why me? Liu Ruyan shot back. Why not you? I blanked for a second. My phone buzzed. I glanced at it. It was Chen Zhe. He qiang. You've been gone forever. You feeling okay? Flustered, I stammered. Chen Zi is rushing me. We should head back. Liu Ruyan stepped up and blocked my way. If you say you don't like me, then after today, I'll step out of your life for good. She leaned in close, as if looking straight into my soul. He qiang. Have you ever caught feelings for me, even just a little bit? How could I not? Catching feelings for Lu Ruyan is the easiest thing in the world. I can't even remember when it started. Was it her gentle hug at the bar? Her taking me in on New Year's Eve? Her stepping up to protect me? Or even earlier? I really don't know. But right now, she was so close. I could barely breathe. I instinctively took a step back, just trying to catch some air. But my foot slipped. A sharp pain shot through my ankle. I lost my balance and tumbled backward, completely out of control. I squeezed my eyes shut in panic, but suddenly felt a firm grip on my waist. The next second, I was pulled into a warm embrace. Liu Ruyan had one arm around my waist, and her hand supporting my neck. Frowning slightly, she asked, "Why are you so clumsy? Did you twist your ankle?" Still shook. I gripped her dress for dear life. "Yeah, I think so." Suddenly, a familiar scream echoed out. Ah! My heart leaped, and I whipped my head around. Chenzi looked absolutely shook. His eyes darted wildly between me and Lu Ruyan, in pure disbelief. Since when did you two become a thing? I instinctively tried to pull away to explain, but Liu Ruyan cut me off. Calmly and effortlessly, she stated, "When were we ever not a thing? Wait, isn't something missing here?" I couldn't help but ask. "I don't think I gave you an answer yet." Liu Ruyan looked at me, thoughtfully, then gave a highly generous nod. "Well, you can answer right now." Chen Siwai was clearly processing massive emotional damage, his eyes looking totally lost. He hesitantly asked, "Am I the third wheel here?" Liu Ruyan said, "Yes." Chen puffed up his chest. "He's my bro. If someone's making a move on him, I need to supervise the scene." Liu Ruyan raised an eyebrow. "Fine." Then she pulled something else out of her pocket. A watch. The same one she left in my bag before. "That other one was your birthday gift. I've been wanting to give you this one for a while," she said. "But back then An alarm bell went off in my head. I completely panicked. "Wait." I snapped my head toward Chen Zhe, looking desperate. "Chen Zhe, can you give us a minute?" "Chen Zhe," I practically begged with my hands together. "Please bro, this is getting rated R. I still need my reputation intact." Chen Zhe powed the yen and reluctantly walked away. I breathed a sigh of relief. But when I turned back around, I caught Liu Ruyan's teasing smirk. I got a little flustered and playfully smacked her arm. You did that on purpose. Liu Ruyan admitted it openly. Guilty, but I really did want to give you this watch back then. I froze. Liu Ruyan lowered her eyes slightly, her long lashes casting a faint shadow. I figured if I was going to confess to you, I should have a nice gift ready, but it was too rushed. And this watch was all I had. My eyes went wide with shock. Wait, you mean, back then you already? Liu Ruyan took my hand and slipped the watch onto my wrist. Her movements were incredibly gentle, her expression totally serious. But there was no time. The moment you woke up, you insisted nothing happened. You clearly didn't plan on making things official. Click. She fastened the strap. I looked closer, looking at this watch seriously for the first time. A deep blue dial, stars and moons intertwined, surrounded by a brilliant, sparkling light. I bought this watch back then, because it matches you perfectly. He Qiang is the tide surging under the night sky. It's a secret hidden for who knows how long. Day after day, year after year, the tide rises, until finally, one day, it crashes down and overwhelms everything. Love swallows it all, and now, it can finally sit on your wrist. Liu Ruyan leaned in, looking me right in the eyes. Little He Jing, do you want to come home with me? After Liu Ruyan and I made it official, the very first thing we did was go apologize to Chen Si. But Chen Si didn't care at all. He was practically screaming in excitement. I'm going to get my reward from Mom and Dad. A photo of my sister's boyfriend? I found the actual boyfriend himself, all thanks to me. Liu Ruyan just handed him a bank card. Keep quiet and get lost. Chen Si was about to run off, but then he suddenly doubled back and whispered in my ear, "My sister is pretty old, bro. Don't let her take advantage of you." I deadpanned. Gee, thanks, bro. Chen Si shot his sister a final look. Lucky you. Then he floated away happily with the card. Liu Ruyan raised an eyebrow at me. Think I'm old? I shook my head like my life depended on it. No, absolutely not. Liu Ruyan's eyes turned dangerously dark. Need me to jog your memory? I turned and sprinted away. An older person falling in love is like an old house on fire, way too intense to handle. Summer break rolled around. My parents finally signed the divorce papers and went their separate ways. I followed Liu Ruyan back to her family's place. Her parents cooked up a massive feast. They kept holding my hand, smiling and repeating how they thought she'd be single forever, and how relieved they were that I was willing to put up with her. I had been to the Liu house so many times before that it already felt like a second home to me. Chen Si dragged me to Liu Ruyan's room for a tour. Look, this is my sister's whole history. Certificates and trophies were everywhere, showing off just how elite she was. Chen Si stared at them for a bit, and actually got mad at his own mediocrity. Big deal. Exactly. I sat in her chair and laughed. Hasn't it always been like this? Why are you even mad? Chen Si froze. Wait, how did you know? Have you been in here before? I thought about it and nodded. Summer after freshman year of high school. Remember, when I came to hang out, but it downpoured, and you got stuck at your tutoring center. Chen Si thought for a second, then realization dawned on him. Oh right, we were supposed to hang out that afternoon, but the rain was insane. I didn't get home until that night. That day, my parents had gotten physical again and smashed up the house. With nowhere else to go, I grabbed my backpack and went to find Chen Si. But it started pouring on the way. By the time I got to his house, I was completely soaked, and he wasn't even home yet. I was standing outside shivering from the cold. Just as I was about to give up and leave, the door opened behind me. Liu Ruyan looked at me quietly and said, "Come in." So, that's why my sister gave you my old school uniform to change into. Chen Si muttered, his face full of disbelief. No wonder when I asked to borrow it later, she claimed she threw it away. I felt a bit embarrassed. Back then I didn't want to cause any trouble, so I never mentioned it to anyone. Suddenly, Chen Si remembered something. He jumped up, and yanked open the drawer behind me. I was confused. What are you looking for? Chen Si didn't answer. After rummaging around, he finally pulled out a wallet. Look, isn't this a photo of you? The picture was slightly yellowed from age. I just stared at it, dumbfounded. Just then, Liu Ruyan walked up to the doorway. She knocked on the doorframe. Time to eat. Until I got dumped. He bought a flight without a second thought to be with me. I never expected this to happen. Liu Ruyan, I'm not that much of a beast. Chen Zi grumbled angrily. Damn it. He's flexing on me again. Liu Ruyan completely ignored him, waving at me. Let's go. Ignore the single dog. Chen Zi scoffed. Gee, thanks, Liu Ruyan. Thank you for being the light in my gloomy youth. And thank you for being willing to love me. The end. Your video was awesome. Next time it pops up, I'll definitely drop some coins for a tea. No. Please don't drop coin. Thank God you didn't drop coins. If you dropped coins, I'd be tying you down for life. I'm gonna tap out now. Will we ever see each other again? We'll definitely see each other again. You have to be happy, okay? Yeah. You need to like and drop coins. Please, drop a like. Drop a coin and swipe to the next video. You won't see me on YouTube anymore, but that's okay. You have to drop coins for other people by yeah. Yeah. You complain about me every time. How am I supposed to live? Yeah. You completely own me. Haha.